So the necessity of ethical hacking. Why do we need to do this? Well, we probably see this almost every day in the news. But what's happening right now is because technology is growing at such a rapid pace, it adds to complexity. And because of this rapid growth and because of complexity, you've already learned, hopefully by me, by now, hopefully you've learned that complexity and growth typically creates issues for us. So with ethical hacking, we are going to try to accomplish the following. First of all, we need to review systems and infrastructures. And there are times that you may be thinking, well, I reviewed all the computers. Well, that may not be all of the systems. And when we talk about infrastructure, I'm talking hardware. I'm talking copy machines. I'm talking switches. I'm talking Wi-Fi access points. And then we also need to take a look at how are people getting in. We'll then go through and test the current security. And we'll do that via pen test. But after we test the current security, and we're not there to go, haha, look how bad your system is, we're there to help. And part of that help means that we're going to create solutions. We do not just sit there and show problems and then walk away. We help come up with solutions. And then after we create those solutions, the next step that we need to do is we're going to go and retest to make sure that our solutions have actually helped out. Now, when we're looking at this, we typically also need to be aware of both a scope and a limitation. The scope of ethical hacking is part of risk assessment, auditing, as well as fraud. There's also best practices and really looking at governance, I should say properly implemented governance. As far as the limitations are concerned with ethical hacking, typically businesses don't really know what they're looking for, or they don't know that they have a problem until it's too late. Again, we hear that all the time in the news about how a particular retailer discovered that 3 months ago they were attacked. They had no idea that it was taking place. So why not try to be a little bit more proactive about the environment or about this situation by looking ahead? But just know that that may be a limitation. And your job is to help them understand why they need this. Now, your job is also to be able to answer questions such as, what can be seen? What can be seen from the outside versus what can be seen from the inside? We'll also need to figure out what is being monitored, what's not being monitored. Are we over-monitoring? Do we have so many log files or monitoring systems going on that nobody's paying attention because we're being overwhelmed? And that actually kicks us back to governance, good governance. What can be done about the situation? Would be another great question for you to be able to answer, as well as, are there adequate protections in place? And of course, if we're dealing with any type of industry where they have government compliance or even business-based compliance, are those compliances being met? So when we talk about, is ethical hacking necessary, or why is it necessary? Well, the answer to that, quite honestly, is the fact that attackers are continually changing up and figuring out new mechanisms, taking advantage of new technologies that are coming out. There has to be somebody that can help to counteract these types of attacks.